seen an automobile accident? Just raise your hands everywhere. Yeah, pretty much everybody in the room. What would you do if I told you the leading cause of death in persons under the age of 24 is the #1 killer of persons under the age of 24 in the United States? Pretty alarming statistic. Now, what would you do if I told you 40% of those were alcohol-related unnecessary deaths? Well, that's the case. The #1 killer for persons under 24 years of age, alcohol-related injuries due to driving while intoxicated. Now, like it or not, even if you don't drink, most of you will be on the road with a drunk driver at some point in time. Whether you're the passenger of the car or the driver of the car, it doesn't matter. You're going to be on the road with a drunk driver. Now, I'm not proud of it, but I used to drink and drive many years ago. I don't do it anymore because I know how dangerous it is. Luckily, I never injured anybody or got a DWI or anything like that. Again, not proud of it. I did it, but never do it again, and because of the cost and the dangers involved in it. Now, the reason I'm giving this speech is because I'm trying to persuade people not to drink and drive, and tell you some of the disadvantages to it, the costs and the injuries. So hopefully after hearing this, you'll choose not to drink and drive. Also, I have 2 children under the age of 24 who fall into this statistic, so I don't want, and several other people I love under the age of 24 that I don't want to get involved in this, be a statistic like this. So that's why I'm giving this speech. So hopefully after you hear it, you'll see where I'm going at it. As I said earlier, there are too many unnecessary deaths and high costs related to this problem, so let me explain. On average, somebody in the United States is killed every 45 seconds for an alcohol-related automobile accident. That's about how long it would take you to call a cab rather than going ahead and driving. So 45 seconds, everybody dies. 45 seconds, take you to call a cab. Much more choice to be call a cab. Also, about 3 out of every 10 Americans will be involved in an alcohol-related car crash, even if they don't drink. So even if you don't drink, you're on the road, 3 out of 10 Americans are still going to be involved or killed in an automobile accident due to alcohol-related. And not only is it dangerous and irresponsible, it's very costly. Drunk driving in the United States costs Americans $9 billion per year for people who drink and drive and the accidents and insurance and costs. It's the cost of, if you break it down, the cost of this for driving over the legal limit, which in Texas is 0.80, costs 30 cents per mile. For every mile you drive, it's 30 cents a mile. That's what the cost is for drinking and driving. Now, these costs are related to injury, personal injury, property loss, car damage, car repair, car replacement, and rising insurance costs. Get DWIs, getting wrecks, make sure insurance goes up. So that's what all these costs are involved in. One of the biggest costs for drinking and driving is a DWI. Anybody in the room ever got a DWI before? No? Mm-hmm. Good. That's one of the biggest costs. Costs well into the thousands, and costs to most people, extreme financial hardship when they receive one of these. So it's definitely something you don't want to get. Not to mention all the time you're going to waste in court appearances, community service is usually what you get, so you're going to be spending time on the side of the road picking up people's trash, things like that, which you deserve to if that's what you get popped for, but picking up other people's trash and things like that, it's a lot of wasted time. And also jail. You could go to jail for getting a DWI. So definitely those are some of the really bad things involved in it. It can also cost you your job. You can't work, you lose your license, you can't drive, cost you lose your job, therefore causing even further financial hardship. So if you're going to drink and drive, do not get behind the wheel of a car. Period. Do not do it. So after hearing all this, I hope that all of you in the room and everybody who sees this speech chooses not to drink and drive, because it can ruin your life as well as other innocent people's lives, and you don't want to have to live with that. So if you're going to drink and drive, call a cab. It's a cheaper and safer alternative. Now, does anybody have any questions? Anybody? Come on, somebody. Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's a comment. It's smart to have a designated driver program with your group of friends, right?
Most definitely. I should have brought that up. Yeah, that's a safe alternative. Calling a cab is, if you all do drink, 1 week one person doesn't get to drink, next week, the other person will get the drug. You just alternate, you know. It's a lot safer. Everybody gets home. Everybody's going to go home safe to their family and friends. Yes. Good question.